Hey again, people. Gonna talk about, I usually don't do videos twice, but I try to start this. Hi Moki! Why you keep coming in? I did a video on tactical movies when it was raining, and I kind of started and it really started pouring. I think we got some hail and it washed it out. So I kind of got to redo this one, even though I don't really want to. But so when I'm talking about this Revolution series, I'm going to be talking about different tactics that revolutionaries have used and what's used against higher and stronger forces and weaker forces. So I decided to start thinking about some movies that kind of showed some good tactics and that I thought kind of demonstrated some good ideas about tactics. So if you've watched these, you know, when you watch a movie for entertainment, it's one thing, but if you watch it to critically evaluate it on the tactics and what they did, and most cops and military guys watch movies like this because it's just they know what you would really do, and when they see it on TV, they're like, oh shit, you never do that, you get your ass killed, you get shot. So, you know, cops and, you know, I'm sure firemen, whenever watching Backdraft, were like, oh, that's BS, you can't do that, and, you know, so it's, whatever your specialty is, doctors probably do the same thing when doctors say stupid stuff, but for tactical wise, these are some movies and a movie list that I kind of jotted down some movies that I thought were pretty good tactically, and the tactics they use would be used in some type of revolution or fighting a superior force or invading force. So the first movie I got, and these aren't in particular order, not number one is more popular and whatever, I just kind of started jotting down as I remember I wrote them. So Red Dawn, the old one and the new one. The old one, the Russians come down and take over, and the new one, I forgot who comes over and takes over, but they fight somebody, Cubans or something, I don't know. So, but both movies were very good about showing how you make use of limited knowledge, limited people, but you're able to move, hit and move, snipe, do things that disrupt the enemy. So I thought both those movies, now obviously some tactics, somebody's going to be in there, man, that movie sucked, and those guys, they never work. And look, generally speaking, somebody that has no tactical experience, if you look at that movie or any of these movies, you're going to see some good tactical principles, maybe not Hollywoodish, where they blow it up and one guy beats up 200 people and he shoots 200 people, he never reloads. I'm not talking about all that technical crap. I'm just talking about generally good tactical movies. So Red Dawn, both series, both the old and the new, very good movies on how to, you know, use steel guns from the people that have a lot. You replenish, you booby trap, you attack in the middle of the night, you attack early, you hit the small forces, you motivate the people that they're capturing and holding. All these things are great for demoralizing the enemy. Remember, anytime you're fighting another country, they're not fighting for their home. So when we got U.S. troops all over the freaking world, we're not near in the fight. Everybody wants to stay alive, and you're fighting to stay alive and protect the guy next to you. But it's not near as personal as if we're defending our own homeland. So, Red Dawn, the movie 300, very good movie. I talked about the Battle of Marathon, King Unitas, Thermopylae, I can't remember all the stuff off the top of my head, but good movie 300 about how a small force used terrain and they funneled them in a small area to where their small numbers could overtake much larger numbers, because you take away the advantage. And in tactics, when you can take away the advantage of your opponent and use it turn their advantage into a weakness and turn your disadvantage into a strength, that's when you get good tactical, and that's when you get good battles being won by superior forces losing and supposedly lower forces winning. So 300 was great. Braveheart, great movie about the people fighting a tyrannical regime that's treating them with no respect, and you know a lot of people died, and you're going to lose a lot of people, but you know what? Some fights are worth fighting, and that was Braveheart's a great movie. Love that movie. Troy, absolutely fantastic movie. That movie probably has more lessons in it than any other movie. I probably watch that movie 20 times. Every time I watch it, I pick up something new. Just from history, from people starting wars where they're fighting for brother and family, and brothers are protecting each other, and they're willing to have a bunch of people die because of that love of their family. And then the religious aspect, you know, you go to war because an eagle flew by with a snake in his talons, and you're going to go to war and you end up losing, and everybody in your town and yourself ends up dying. So Troy was an absolute fantastic movie. You can't get it all by watching it once. Just a great movie. I think, not Sean Penn, who's that guy? Some sweetheart guy that all ladies love played Achilles. Did a great job. Full Metal Jacket. So much the first part's kind of basic training and stuff. It's a little, not so much tactical, but after they get into Vietnam, it really shows how war can be. You don't know who friend or foe is, and guys lose their morality, and what you used to would never do and would think is really bad, and you didn't think you could do it, suddenly you're doing it, and it kind of feels good. So, Full Metal Jacket, I think is a good tactical movie. It gives good lessons. Lone Survivor, obviously, those guys made a tactical decision on emotion. And that's the key about a lot of these movies. A lot of tactical battles are lost because of emotion. And it's that emotion, either you get into it and you're not thinking logically, and you're not thinking smart, and you're not thinking tactically, and you get into emotional. Lone Survivor, all those guys got killed because they wanted to be good guys and cut guys loose. I thought it was a bad move, and everybody, oh, you shouldn't question the guy, you weren't there. You know what? If it's my safety and theirs, your ass is staying tied up, and if they find you, they find you. If they don't, good luck. Start working yourself free, and maybe tomorrow or next 2 days you'll get loose. They cut these guys loose, they went down and ratted on them, and they all ended up dying, except one. Sniper, there's a couple different sniper movies. I think this one was called The American Sniper. The Chris Kyle story, I think that was the name of it. Good movie about, again, the mindset of being in battle fatigue, combat, how it changes you. And if there was a revolution, or if there's something going on, a conflict, people will change. I mean, right now, I'm not going to cut somebody's head off and put it on my front gate. But you let another invading army come here, and they start coming out here, and I kill a couple of guys, their heads are going on my thing, because the next guys that come will see that, and they'll be like, we probably ought to go to the next place. So I don't have a problem cutting somebody's head off and sticking on my post. I'm not going to do that now because I'm not in the mindset and there's reason to it. But if the time came for it, absolutely. People will be like, man, that guy's crazy. Look, shit happens when shit gets bad. Last Samurai, great movie. Again, a smaller force fighting a larger, more superior force, more force power, more people, more weapons. And yet they still can fight a good battle because they use tactics and logic and deception and smoke, and they draw people into where they want them, and then they cut and divide the forces. Great movie, a lot of lessons in this Last Samurai. V for Vendetta, obviously a great movie. He's taking on a government that's oppressive and that's spying on him, and he does a great job. Tactically wise, is not maybe a whole bunch, but the story behind V for Vendetta, it's a good movie to watch. Most people think the false mask is, you know, Occupy Wall Street. That's not their mask. The false mask is about fighting tyranny and an oppressive government. So, great movie. The Patriot, Mel Gibson, again, he was in Braveheart. Patriot, great movie. Shows about the redcoats and fighting and militia and how the guys could move and shoot from the trees and move quick. A lot of tactical lessons in the movie, The Patriot. The Siege, another good movie. A general takes over New York, blocks it off. Muslims are blowing up things. Wow, that sounds like now. Yeah, almost. So, Muslims are out of control, they're blowing people up, they're jihad, so they finally just shut down the city, declare martial law, and they go after people. Now, there's two sides to that lesson. One is how the military is going to do it, and they do it fairly well. And then the other is how the people are going to deal with it and what the people do to fight the superior military, and how it ends up turned around. But good movie, The Siege. Behind enemy lines, a guy gets shot down, he gets behind enemy lines. It shows a good deal about survival, how to blend in, become the gray man, try to make friends with the locals, try to rearm yourself, get things, look like the rest of the people. You can escape, evade, and move. So a lot of moving, behind enemy lines, good tactical movie. Blood Diamonds, I thought was a good movie. It showed dealing with these wild bands, which are going to happen in any revolution. You get these different little segments of bands that go around, terrorize, take over towns, and do things through violence and fear. and they become pretty damn menacing. And in that movie Blood Diamonds, it kind of shows how to avoid, how to get out, how to, you know, make friends with people maybe who can run or whatever. I think it has some good tactics. The series The Walking Dead, everybody be like, zombies? I never watched the show, but I watched it on Netflix, and I watched it from episode 1 to the last episode. Now, I'm not all into the killing zombies and they're running around, you can't kill them, although I thought they did a pretty good job with the storyline. But the Walking Dead series is a great movie to show actual what's going to happen in a breakdown in society where there's no government, nobody there to protect you, no communication, no phone lines, no grocery stores, and no water. It shows real life good survival. Their technical directors, I thought, did a pretty good job. Obviously, there's some Hollywood crap with the zombies. However, fighting other bands, who to trust, who can you bring into your group, what happens if you bring in the wrong guy, hi Moki, what happens if you export the other guy. So a lot of things in The Walking Dead that I thought was really great. Hi Moki, you gotta come say hi to YouTube people. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Moki, yay YouTube. Tactical Kitty Moki. So, Walking Dead, and then I think it's the last one, Black Hawk Down. I was in the military when Black Hawk Down happened. Let me tell you, we went on alert, we were loading up, I was on a 44-man deployment team. We could be anywhere in the world in 24 hours. And that team was activated and we were going, and the way we got the intel is, man, the Rangers just got their ass kicked and they're trapped and shit's hitting the fan and everybody's going. So that's how the intel got for the actual military when Black Hawk Down was going down. So we were like, we're really going, then all of a sudden, either through time or they had enough bodies or whatever, we got canceled and we didn't end up going. But that was a big deal. And there were some tactical errors in there that were dictated by the enemy. And it was also dictated by political correctness on what you didn't want to do and what you could do. And how we were involved with the UN and how we acted unilaterally without the UN involvement, because we know the UN would be a pain in the ass, so we did what we needed to do. When it backfired and we needed UN support, the UN kind of went, screw you, you can wait. And so a lot of guys died because they were screwing around with this politics flexing shit. So Black Hawk Down, great movie. Nothing against our Rangers. They did a great freaking job. Delta Force, all those guys. But really good tactical movie that shows things that happen. And one of the best things, and there's that one dude that couldn't hear because they're shooting the gun right by his ear. And I'm telling you, man, when you're in a shooting situation or you're out there training and you don't have earplugs on, it doesn't take long for your ears to be going out. So nobody brings earplugs to the field. Nobody brings earplugs to a gunfight. And normally you get auditory exclusion. But if you're constantly in battle and bullets are going off, man, your ears suck. So this guy there couldn't hear at the end. It's pretty funny. But those are good tactical movies. If you want to start watching them, if you want to watch some of them, none of them, if you don't want to watch any of them and you think I'm full of shit, that's okay too. Don't come here and try to convince me about I'm a bad movie director and I don't know what I'm talking about. No. Man, people just can't watch a video and go, you know what, I don't like this guy, I'm leaving. They gotta start trying to start a freaking argument. So, movies, I think you get some good things out of that list of movies if you haven't seen some of them or you've seen some of them. If not, then you know, take your pick, and if you want to watch them, you can. All right? And we will end that there.